Hi everyone, thank you for joining me and welcome to this reading for Sagittarius for August. So this is our August reading for the sun sign Sagittarius, but you can watch this for your sun, moon, or rising. I'm a Scorpio rising, but I'm a high placing Scorpio, so I often watch this because the astrology really corresponds to my chart. Word to the wise. Speaking of which, let's talk about astrology first of all. I'm just going to walk you through the main transits. This chart is for about August 17th, in the middle of the month, so we can kind of highlight all the different changes. First off, we have Uranus in your 5th house going retrograde. The 5th house has a lot to do with fun and what you enjoy doing. So you're really taking a look at what drives you, what your passions are, what your drives and desires are, and how you are implementing them. When Uranus goes retrograde, you might actually start rethinking some of your genius ideas and thinking about things in a new direction. Definitely for August, I would recommend that you chill out with that a little bit, because we do have the conjunction of Saturn and Eris in your 1st house. So you could be misleading yourself or misleading others if you feel that at this time, like a total compulsion in order to take things in a certain direction. We have a full moon eclipse. In August, we have 2 eclipses. One is in Aquarius, and so Aquarius rules your 3rd house of communication. Some big project, if you've been working on any type of project that is associated with communication, that's really coming to the forefront and culminating. With eclipses, the consequences of them are really far reaching, so make sure that you are mindful with that energy. Next, we have Mercury retrograde that begins on August 12th and ends on September 5th. This is happening in your 10th house of career. So this is a weird time to send out your resume or talk about career stuff with others. Chances are you're going to get there's going to be misunderstanding or miscommunication in some way. And so you need to be very mindful of that, okay? Take it slow with career. Next, the big one, new moon eclipse, total solar eclipse, especially for those of us who are in North America, as it's right over the continent, which is not actually very common. This is happening on August 21st in the sign of Leo for you. This is a big point, as your MC line is right here, right? So the new moon eclipse happens at about 26 degrees of Leo. No, sorry, 28 degrees of Leo. And so right on the cusp of Virgo. The first set of eclipses in Leo and Aquarius that's happening for the next year or so. And so we have this in your 9th house. Wonderful time for new commitments to education, new thoughts and ideas, transformative, very transformative, as it's conjunct both Mars and the North Node. Again, long-reaching consequences. Make sure that you have very positive and optimistic mindsets. This is the 9th house, so it's to do with ideas. And ideas seem really, how do you say, sometimes ambiguous, but they actually have a lot of consequence. So if you think certain thoughts, certain things come into your life. So be mindful of that energy. The big shocker for you, the big challenge this month is the conjunction of Saturn and Lilith in your 1st house. This is where your personality gets checked big time. Where there is confusion, you might be accused of things that you're not doing, or you might feel the necessity to make and derive conclusions that are not necessarily placed. So look inward and outward to see the confusion. This is happening at the same time as Saturn goes direct in your 1st house on August 25th. So this is the conjunction starts now and will continue until the end of August. And when Saturn goes direct on August 25th, then it's going to get quite intense and quite confusing, because it's the 1st house of personality. It might feel really overwhelming or very intense, very kind of big, you know. Some of the big astrological patterns, and I'll talk about this in the dailies. We have a grand trine over us for about half of the month. This breaks up in the middle of the month. That's why you don't see it here, the line, but it's definitely forming again as it shows up at the end of the month, the 2nd time in fire. This is the energy of the summer. Fire, 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 which is huge transformation, a big uptake on the energy that was around us in 2016, which was very negative and very kind of stern and not forthcoming. Now we're feeling a lot more robust, hopeful energy. Although some of us may, depending on what your signs are and where your planets are, you still may feel in a certain degree overshadowed by it all. Okay, the major transit off of that is a kite, which is its tail is on Jupiter, which is in your 11th house. So your friends and social connections motivate you, and the nose is on Uranus, which I said goes retrograde on August 3rd in your 5th house. So friends push you to new ways of doing things. Really listen to people around you and take a page out of their book. The main lesson here, Sagittarius, is that you go really easy with regard from now on, from July until the end of August and even into September. Really go easy on your ambition. So those things that you usually feel are very kind of hopeful, ambitious, let's do it, fly to the moon and back, you know, on a whim, whatever inspiration, you might want to have a second take on that and make sure that it's the right choice for you. Okay, so first off, what I've been doing is picking cards from the Journey Oracle deck, and I'm gonna let you guys know when I go to pick up more, and then you guys can get it through me. I looked on Amazon and I didn't see it, so maybe this is the only way to get it. You have the 29 diamond, and it looks, oh, it's cool. It's kind of like your month already. I see it. Now these are shamanic cards that were made on the full moons and new moons, or maybe even on the eclipses. It's pretty powerful, but we see a figure in the center. It looks like ink blot a little bit, and there's two different realities that he or she stands in between, right? Something, and then there's like I said, blood on his hands, or like a red dot on his hands. So maybe there is some huge overhaul. 29. Okay, 29. I'm reading from this a little bit. I really invite you guys to come back and check this out mid-month as well, just to see if the story kind of melds into your consciousness or awareness. So the situation began by trying not to plan ahead. That sounds like Sagittarius. The prevailing energy of this situation is changing direction. The core energy pattern of the situation is slashed through. The mother of the situation is all right. The father of the situation is throwing things away. Your relationship to the prevailing energy is reaching out. Your perception of the situation is fractured. The impact of your perception is alarm. The connection between the core energy pattern and the situation is felt as a loving touch. The momentum of the situation is fed by not winning. Experience named negative energies. Exterior support. An exterior or support system for the situation is haze. H-A-Z-E. Okay, so I'll read you a little bit of a story. I'm reading it for every single sign. Make sure that you're watching for your sun, moon, and rising. So let me read that for you. The late afternoon sun streaks the bark of cedar trees, a tarnished red gold as it slants through the forest openings. The illumination makes a landing on the surface of shadows gathering in the hollows made by overlays of green needle lacework. An amber beam strikes an arrival along the side of a rough, boarded window frame, revealing in its positive, intuitive flow a filigree of tiny flies floating towards the warmth like a dusty golden jewel in the barely moving air. There is a jittering, erratic spinning in the corner of the window frame. A fly is caught in a tattered strand of web that has been drifting out from before birth, waiting for a victim to be crucified with a meaningless death. The gyrations intensify on a frantic tempo. This is the drama. As this drama is moving forward, completing the web given away, as when unexpected opportunities are released. The fly bumps through the staggering moment of relationship with elements as air and rising heat offer their good medicine protection. The light moves on like a wake-up call, not heeded. With its passing, the flies can no longer be seen, and the only way of knowing a little death was avoided is a small hole. Like the print of negative energies is an old cobweb stuck to the side of a board. Okay, so I invite you guys to listen to that a couple times. It's meant to be inspirational, so really think of it as an abstract rather than something really fixed. But now let's take a look at the tarot. I'm not reading the comments, but I'll check in the next intermission. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Rods. By the way, this is a Taylor Ellis deck. It's a self-published deck, and I think it's awesome. So Sag, you have something really big coming in, the Three of Wands. Something that you've been earned. This is the picture of a, well, this looks like a hunter, or this feels like something coming home, you know? This feels like a spirit animal coming home, something returning to you that had in certain way been lost. You've been waiting a long time for this energy to come in, and now you are feeling as though this is the proof of the effort that you have put in towards this person or the spirit being. At the top we have the Ace of Swords. This coincides with your crown chakra, so or crown chakra, so you have that connection to the universe. You definitely want to be listening to the messages around you to clarify your position. The South Node is transiting for the next year or so in your third house of communication. This is also where we see the full moon eclipse on August 7th. The South Node is coinciding with our karma, the things that you are releasing, particularly communication patterns that are in some way inflicting you from being able to express yourself in a more healing way to others. So it's creating chasm for you between yourself and others. It's creating friction or opposition and difficulty. Now you are releasing those things. So any behavioral communicative styles that are in some way limiting your scope and ability to connect with others, they're being released and let go of, such as, you know, unwilling colloquial terms that may be offensive to others, that don't actually reflect who you are, maybe things that you have picked up in your lifetime from the social environments that you've been in, such as for me, because this is my astrology too, maybe like swearing, because I have a bad habit to swear, and it's not really my nature to do so, and it's really from the environments that I've been involved in throughout my life. It kind of rubbed off on me. So maybe you too will improve your communicative style this month. But I feel as though the strongest channeled information that I got from this, and it came in very strongly, that something's coming home that was lost a long time ago. A spirit animal is coming home, you know, a spirit animal or a person, definitely an entity. So we have the High Priestess, recognition, awareness, consciousness, elevation, and then we have the Death card, which is ruled by Scorpio. So we have communication that is transformative. It's touching upon larger life lessons, larger life lessons, larger things that you are contending with. This is the kind of putting your back up against the wall, and you have to let go of something that is something that was holding you back all along, and that has kept that positive energy away from you. Maybe for whatever reason, maybe you had conflicting responsibilities or something like that. You've held on to a relationship or a situation that was not beneficial to you, and it's been hurting you from moving forward, harming, stopping you from moving forward, and now that is ending, and you are, at the same time as you're mourning, you're experiencing you know, the energy coming in that was yours all along. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but that's the channeled information. Next we see the Two of Pentacles, which is careful and slow progress. Like I said, with the conjunction with Lilith and Saturn, you want to really be careful of making decisions too quickly or maybe in a radical way. You definitely don't want to go in the direction of kind of grandiose movements or decisions. The next message is the Knight of Swords. you're dealing with a lot of thoughts and ideas, and those can be represented in the way of Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra. This could be people who are competitors, people who are in some way meant to be an opposing force to challenge you in the status quo. I don't know if you guys know anagrams, but in anagrams there is a balance that is maintained between different modalities. And I feel as though for you, the point of challenge is this Knight of Swords in some way. They're your challenger, right? So, but in challenging you, they are helping you grow by making you question the things that you are taking for granted, the things that you are pushing forward. Sagittarius has this energy of pushing forward in order to bring progress and light to a situation, and your challenge in that mandala ends up being taking a really detailed review of or revision of the things that are happening around you, right? So you may in some way have someone hold your head, just metaphorically speaking, to take a look at something and really face it. Especially someone who may make a comment or a situation that may provoke you to really face a situation or a circumstance. The next message is the Two of Rods. So this is a change and a vision of a different perspective. This coincides very closely with the Ace of Swords. It's like they share the same heartbeat. The Two of Rods is a change in perspective, understanding something in a big way. Now, the High Priestess is represented by two, but the lower arcana cards here are the Two of Rods and the Two of Discs. That often points to issues of relationships as well. So you may be dealing with a partner who is either weighing out tangible, physical issues, and you are weighing out the metaphorical or spirit issues, or the inverse, where you're focused on the material context of the relationship, and your partner is in some way dealing with the spirit-driven qualities. Now, you in the situation get justice, which means that fairness is going to be coming to you. This is the card of Jupiter. So I want to remind you the astrology. So we have Jupiter in your 11th house in Libra, right? This is the sign of Libra, the Justice card. And what did I say? That there is going to be a kite, which you don't really see right now. Let's see if I can show it to you, because in a few days it's going to pop up. There we go. So you see the kite here. Now this is for the 24th of August. We see Saturn and Lilith sitting on top of each other, but the real high point is that tail motivated by Jupiter, which is fairness, order being brought into our lives, and the nose maturing or being brought forward towards Uranus, renegotiation, reconvention. In a romantic relationship, this can mean that friends bring you and a partner of the past together again, that there's a regeneration, that there is a turn of the luck, that there are helping spirits there for you to navigate in a new direction. So if you feel as though you may feel as though you have lost in a situation, a romantic situation, you might find yourself quite surprised in August as there's a turnaround when the truth of people aren't lying in the situation. So the truth and the scale of justice are going to be weighed evenly, and I think that there's going to be a fair and decent assessment of the circumstances that leads to an outcome that finds you successful or victorious. So let's see the next card. We have the Eight of Swords. So there's an impasse. Exactly, he's a challenger. He or she is a challenger. The situation is meant to challenge. Equally, you feel frustrated or debilitated by your interaction with this person. This person feels the same way towards you. They're conflicted, and you are as well. And in that is the answer. I think that relationship in a certain way is meant to provide you some kind of slowing down measure to slow you down from moving so quickly in situations. Next, we have the Four of Cups. This is the energy that you're projecting into life and into circumstances around you. You are I think I got this for the last reading in Capricorn as well, which is a difficult card for this position because this is the unexpected. And if you are projecting into your life that which you know, then it's not unexpected. So this is like energy coming to you. You're really hoping that there's going to be something in the situation that you have not accounted for. The outcome is the Four of Rods. So I do think that this is the wonderful card of marriage, of finding solution, brotherhood, sisterhood. Really, like I said, in a romantic relationship, things are going to resolve. That spirit animal is coming home in a big way. Maybe there was in some way, some great challenge and opposition. I don't feel like this person is malicious. I feel as though their politics are very different than yours. And so I feel as though they're perplexed because they don't necessarily hate you. They're not out to get you. And yet there is this impasse in your relationship. And I think that you start seeing the situation less as conflictual and way more as, this person, it's like a, conflict of interests, that kind of thing. And in fact, what's happening here on the sideline, maybe this is concerning another person, where there is balance being restored. And this is the super romantic, stable home family life card. So Sagittarius, you are being blessed by the end of August. Just make sure that you really watch your temper. I don't think that Sagittarius is necessarily known for a very intense temper. However, if you are being in some way thwarted from going the direction that you want, there are also a lot of other behaviors that you could be taking on, such as avoidant behaviors, that kind of thing. And this energy is trining Leo right here. You can see that energy right there. So trining Mars and Leo in the North Node. So you could be feeling really motivated to have to make a choice, make a certain decision. And that choice or decision may in some way, for some reason, not be coming together in the way that you wanted. And I think that how do you say this? It's for a reason, but it's a deeper spiritual reason. And so you really want to watch out, not for Saturn going direct. Saturn going direct has to do with order, bringing balance into situations and circumstances, including your personality, unless you've been totally screwing around and not doing what you were meant to do with your personality, and reforming yourself and improving upon yourself, doing the self-work. But you really want to watch out with Black Moon Lilith. That's going to start right now from July, exploiting this position of Saturn, making things confusing, making it not clear about what exactly the right choice is. But trust, and I think that there needs to be that confidence in you this month that things are going to work out okay, that you're going to find really great balance and harmony with someone else. You see the fox looks like it's almost by itself, but you see two tails, so you know it's in such unison. It's in such unison. They're so close together, the two foxes, maybe two spirit, but they are becoming as one, justice as well. So this is the big card of compromise. You find the compromise with a loved one. If you don't have a loved one, then maybe you're finding some kind of balance within yourself. But I do think that for many of you, this is concerning an exterior relationship, romantic relationship for most, or a good friendship for others. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please stay tuned for Reiki. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye. Have a good August. So we have to hustle because we're running out of time. So I think we did intuition yesterday, water intuition. So the sun is right on me. So why don't we do fire intuition since we did Sagittarius, huh? Fire intuition day, Reiki. So, unless somebody else has a better idea. Yay, nice to see you all. Thank you for all the comments. Wow. Thanks for being here. So does anybody have any decision about the type of Reiki we want, or are you guys good with fire intuition? I can do a request. We have to hurry up because we're running out of time. So you guys are good? Are you guys going to add in some Reiki here? Oh, I have Ganesh. Fire is fine. Okay, fire, fire. Let's light it up. How was the story? Did you guys like the oracle story today? Story time with Veroosh. Let's do it. I'm gonna put a setting up the. Okay. All right, girls and boys. Inspiration. Is that what I said? Inspiration? Intuition. I said fire intuition. Hi, Stephanie. Thank you for joining us. So we're going to do the Reiki now. Okay. Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining me, and welcome to this Reiki session for fire intuition. So we're going to use the element of fire and the wonderful sun hitting my face in order to bring wonderful energy of the universe. If you do Reiki or any energy modality, feel free to add this to this session. For those of you who don't know about Reiki, this is a type of meditation energy practice that allows the universal energy to flow to you for a certain area of your life. So the area of your life that we chose for today's session is fire intuition. So we'll use the power of the sun, which is right in front of me right now, and the flame in order to facilitate fire type of intuition understanding. We're in a grand fire trine. This is perfect. Okay, this takes about 10 minutes. Allow the energy just to flow to you. Accept it, embrace it, and share with others. Okay, so let's begin. All right, everybody, thank you for joining me, and I hope that you enjoyed this Reiki session for fire intuition. I hope that you work within your modality in order to gain the best benefit energetically out of this session. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.